Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy, Jonathan Belcher here in this video. Dropping this video for all my freedom fighters out there, my hustlers out there, my ambitious people out there, my spiritual people out there, my entrepreneurs, my bossed up men, my bossed up women. We're going to be talking about the Matrix. All an entrepreneur is somebody who woke up one morning and said, fuck this, I'm gonna stop relying on what they're gonna give me, and I'm gonna make something happen for myself and my family. That's all an entrepreneur is. We're gonna start off with our daily affirmation. I am rich, I am financially free, I am financially prosperous. Money flows to me effortlessly and abundantly. I am wealthy, I am healthy, I am loved. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. I mean, come on, what am I at? Just over 5,000 subscribers? Fucking pathetic. Like, I really should have like 1 million subscribers already. Like, literally, right? Like, shouldn't I have like 1 million subscribers already for the stuff I be talking about? It's crazy, but we'll get there. We're working on it. So make sure to subscribe to my channel. Drop a comment below. Thumbs up this channel. Thumbs up this video if you like what I'm going to be talking about. So we're going to be talking about the Matrix in this video because this is something that's been weighing heavy on my heart for a while now. I probably should have been released this video talking about this topic, but I finally got all my thoughts together to finally share with you and tell you my thoughts on the Matrix and what it is and where we're headed as a country, as a society, as a nation. Because we can't get to where we're going unless we understand the landscape, unless we could read the room and we're aware of what's going on around us. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this time in life right now, we need to pay more attention than ever before. And it's funny, we have the most distractions today than any other time. Everybody's always in their cell phones. Everybody's always in their social media. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's really paying attention and using their brain. There's a very slim, select few of people still paying attention and using their brain. But part of that reason is because we're in what you would call the Matrix, or a simulation, if you will. Which means that basically what you think is reality is not really reality. It's something controlling the way you think, controlling what you do, controlling the way you see things. There's something bigger, higher up, controlling all of that stuff. So when we look at the Matrix, it's really about realizing that, like, things are set up by design. Like, for example, when you think about something that should be a no-brainer, for example, something like equality, or something like, you know, cops not shooting young kids or something like that, for example, that should be objectively across the board. We should all agree that that's wrong. You know, for a cop who's in a position of authority, for example, who has a gun and they've been put in a powerful position, for them to kill an unarmed kid, damn near, or even a young person who's unarmed, anybody could look at that and say there's something wrong with that. But if there's something so wrong with it, why does it keep happening so much? You see, the reason why it keeps happening so much is because of this concept of the Matrix, the concept that we're in this simulation, if you will, where it's like, as much as we know what's right or wrong, we still have to do so much as a people to fight for what the fuck is right. We have to fight for what any human being should be able to look at and say, you know what? We got to do better in this area. So why do all the fucked up shit and all the nonsense and the BS stay in position and it stays in place and it continues to happen? A big part of the reason is because of the Matrix, because of the way things are designed, because of the way things are set up in this country. Not in this country, in the world. Just in the world in general, really. You know what I'm saying? But like, America has probably the biggest influence on any other world out there when it comes to society, the way we dress, fashion, just the culture and the opportunity. But when you think about the Matrix, you know, you have to realize that you literally fighting to change a situation that is right, and you're justified in fighting to change it. You're going to face a lot of opposition. You're going to face a lot of criticism. You're going to face a lot of people throwing sticks and stones at you. And the reason is because those people are in protection of the system and the Matrix. They are literally, they've been so programmed. You know, those people, they've been so conditioned over the years that literally if you try to make change that's going to make a better future for the people, you're going to be met with opposition from the very same people who you're trying to help. That's the matrix at its best. That's the matrix at its finest. That's what it is. It's you seeing that there needs to be change, but for some reason there's so much opposition and you're wondering why so much people are coming against you on the mission you're trying to be on to help people. And you got to understand that people are in positions of power, you know, and the Bible says that we fight not against flesh and blood, but against, you know, entities in high places, principalities. That's what we argue. That's what the Bible says. Something like that. Let me know. Quote the Bible scripture if you know it. But the Bible tells you, like, yo, there's corruption going on in high places. There's something not right going on in high places. So imagine that. The very Bible that so many Christians, they live by and they worship, which has so much great wisdom and messages in it. There's so much that I learned from the Bible. There's so much that I'm still learning from the Bible up to this day. But imagine this for a second. You got so many people in the world who are Christians, yet because they can't fathom something, they don't think it's really happening. They don't realize that there are agents out there protecting a system. You have a lot of Christians out there who don't realize that there may be politicians in high places that may not be as good as we think they are. Something like that, for example. And I'm like, why? Why aren't you able to fathom that? The very Bible that you worship is telling you it's happening. The very book that you worship is telling you bullshit is happening in high places. It's telling you BS is happening in the political system. It's telling you in government. It's telling you. You know what I'm saying? So you get to a point where you start to ask questions. You know what I mean? Like, you start to ask questions and really and truly, you say, oh, there can never be such thing as a utopia. There can never be such thing as a perfect world. Well, that's true. But it definitely can get a lot closer to becoming a utopia in the world, because everything has to do with values and traditions being passed down for generations. So if we started to value things like loving one another, if we started to value things like unifying as a people, if we started to value things like self-education and organization, if we started to value these things, well, then our reality would be different, right? Your reality has to change if you start to value different things. I'm going to give you an example of how much valuing something new can change a whole world. We got the pandemic going on with the coronavirus right now, right? And everybody's in fear. Everybody's in fear. Everybody's, you know, listening to the news, whatever the news is telling them, and they're just running in fear and panicking. And overnight, something that we never used before has literally became like a #1 value in people's lives. You want to know what that is? I'm going to show you what it is. It's the mask. The mask. Look how much people value a mask, a face mask, all of a sudden so much. Wow, now the norm is going around covering your face with a face mask is. How did that happen? When just the other day, we was walking around barefaced. It was normal to walk around barefaced. We're valuing something different. So if we can accept that in the whole world, you know, because we were marketed coronavirus. We were marketed that, it was marketed to us that coronavirus is here. And it's true, right? People are dying. People are passing away from it. But it's like the main scare. It's the main thing that everybody's so fearful of. So everybody's, as a reaction to that, everybody's grabbing their mask. So people are starting to value something new. But understand how the matrix works. The matrix works the way it is because people have certain positions and everything is systematized and institutionalized. And that's why the matrix works. The reason why you can go to school, graduate after years of college and not know a damn thing about credit is because of what? The matrix. The reason why you could go to school your whole life, not know a damn thing about self-love or what you're here to do or your purpose in life is because of what? The matrix. Think about it. When you're in school as a kid, right? You go to school for about 6 to 7 hours a day. You staring at the clock all day, hoping and praying, can't wait to go home. You want to just go home and play your video game. I remember that was me as a little kid. I couldn't wait to go home and play my video game. That's all I wanted to do. I kept thinking in my class all day. I'm like thinking about the video game, can't wait to get home. And I'm watching the clock. And I'm watching the clock every hour, can't wait to go home. But realize that that's all a programming, because from a child, the Matrix is programming you to be obedient in that way based on time, so that what? You can be groomed and sculpted to be a good what? Worker. To be a good worker. And now fast forward years later, you're an adult and you're doing the same thing, having the same feelings that you had as a kid. You're at the job for 8 hours, you're looking and staring at the clock. Can't wait for your lunch period to come, right? Your lunch break to come. Oh man, lunch period is coming up. Just like high school. Isn't this amazing? Just like high school. And then you can't wait to get out of work that day. So the clock hits, time for you to get to work. You running out that bitch. You happy as hell. You can't wait to go home to see your family, see your wife, see your husband, cook kids. It's the Matrix. It's the Matrix. Is there a possibility for you to live a different type of life? Of course. Do you have to accept what you're given? No. But due to the Matrix, oh man, I just got a crazy something in my contact. You see, they're trying to stop me from saying this. But due to the Matrix, you have the belief and the illusion that things can't be changed and that this is the way things are supposed to be. This is the way things are. It's just like this. No, no. You have power as people. Things can be changed. Things can be altered. New values can come about. New traditions can come about. New cultures. New worlds can come about. New businesses can come about. New partnerships can come about. New organizations can come about. The whole way that this shit is ran, the whole thing can be uprooted and transformed into something new that helps the people. So what's keeping the problems in place? Because we got a crazy pandemic going on, right? And yeah, a lot of people are dying. A lot of people are getting sick. But the reason why this pandemic is even allowed to get this far, honestly, it has to do everything to do with spiritual reasons. It has to do with karmic spiritual reasons. This is why we're experiencing this right now. So no matter how you look at it, at the end of the day, yeah, you can sit there and run around with your mask all day. But at the end of the day, at the very same time, when you breathe out, you breathe out carbon dioxide, which is a waste product for our bodies. So imagine wearing the mask all day for hours and hours at a time, recycling the very same air that you're breathing out. How can that be healthy? How can it be healthy? You breathing in the same damn air that you just breathed out from your body. The toxic air you're breathing back in. So no matter how you look, the people are getting sick no matter what. Because of what? The Matrix. Because of what we believe to be true, instead of asking questions and using our what? Our brains. We've become so dependent on technology. We've become so dependent on our phones. We've become so dependent on these things, but yet we fail to do the research. But here in the 300 to Freedom movement, we're going to know the truth. We're going to know what's going on. Or at least if we don't know the truth, we're going to be on a quest and a journey to find it out. Because what can set you free? Only the truth can set you free. Only the truth can set you free. Lies can't set you free. Lies do nothing but continue to confuse you and distract you and play you. That's all it does. But when you're looking at society, and you got to understand that people who work hard to get to certain positions in life, not saying that everybody's bad. There are certain people who have high positions and high jobs who are very good people. And there are people who have high positions and high jobs and who are very bad people. But my question is, why does the nonsense prevail? The nonsense prevails because if people are in these positions, in these jobs, in these, politics and stuff like that, they have interests, they have incentives. What are the main incentives? They got to get paid. Their family got to get fed. And at the end of the day, everything for these people is about what? Covering their ass. Covering their ass. So if I got a job position and I love my job a lot, right? And I need this income. I can't do without this income I'm making from this job. And I know that the very organization or the very institution I'm working for may have some corrupt things about it. I'm not saying the whole thing's corrupt. I'm just saying some corrupt things about it. How likely am I going to want to speak out against that? It's not very likely. The reason is because these people are paying me. I have no other way to eat besides here. I haven't found a way to make money as an entrepreneur, as my own boss. So I got to come back to this job in order to make money and survive. So I better do what the fuck these people say, even if it's wrong, right, wrong, or indifferent. At the end of the day, it puts money and it puts food on the table. That's why the Matrix is the fucking Matrix. That very concept I just explained to you. So bribery is going on, blackmailing is going on, hiding and shunning of information and throwing things under the rug. All of that is going on. You'd be a fool to sit there and think that it's not going on. So now that we've both agreed that all of that is going on, and we both agreed that people are in positions where they're being bribed and they're basically almost damn near selling their soul for a paycheck. But this is what keeps the Matrix in place, because if I'm in a position where I know I should speak out against something, but my boss is in support of that something that I should speak out against, guess what? I'm not going to speak out against it. And now change is harder to come about, because now everybody's what? Afraid. That's why the Bible says fear is the number one. Fear is the devil. That's basically what the Bible says. Fear is, though you walk through the valley of shadow of evil, though you walk through the valley of shadow of death, that's the Bible scripture, right? Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for the Lord is my shepherd. He is with me, so I shall not want. Right? But understand something. There's a lot going on in the world today, and you got to pay attention to what's going on. Because it does have a lot to do with your business. It does have a lot to do with your future. It does have a lot to do with your kids, where things are going. Because the changes that's happening is very subtle and gradual, but it's extremely impactful. Like right now with this whole coronavirus thing happening right now, we're experiencing a major shift. There's a major shift right now. And if you don't pay attention to everything moving, you're going to miss what's happening. You're going to miss what you need to get where you need to be. So let's talk about these agents. So these agents, they're in positions where they may or may not want to change things, but there's something breathing down their back, or there's some type of pressure there where they can't change things, or don't want to speak out. And one of the main things keeping everything in place, especially now more than ever, is mainstream media. Mainstream media, because that's the information that we tend to consume. Mainstream media is why we're all wearing masks. Mainstream media is why we all know about coronavirus. So what that means to me is that if the mainstream media is so powerful to change the way we operate on a societal level, why doesn't mainstream media speak more about prevention than cure, or something like a vaccine, for example? Just a question. Why? Why not? Why not make your values be more based on healthy living and healthy eating and healthy dieting? Well, healthy eating is healthy dieting, right? Exercising and stuff like that. If we valued those things as a country, well, something like coronavirus is way less likely to affect us. Something like coronavirus is way less likely to kill so many people if we're valuing a healthy lifestyle. But understand the Matrix is that a message gets sent out, and this message, it trickles down, and it affects you and me as the common citizen or the common person in our country. So it trickles down from what? What does it trickle down from? What the Bible spoke about, the high places. From the high places, whoever's at the high place, it trickles down, it trickles down, it trickles down, it trickles down. Guess what? If this guy wants to disagree with whatever's been going on up here, they get him out the way. They get him out the way because you're not compliant to the plan. You're not in line with what we need to push and what we need to get done. You see something wrong and you want to say something, oh, we can't have you a part of this organization. We can't have you a part of this institution anymore. That's how it works. That's how it works. That's how it works. So the Matrix. And watch The Matrix. If you haven't seen the movie The Matrix, I think it's even more powerful today than it was before. Like, there was a time where, you know, like, people had a lot more freedom. We're not realizing that we're so fearful that we're taking security so much that we're taking it in expense for our freedom. So we're losing our freedom. There was a time where we could travel whenever we want. We didn't have to go take no tests, do this and that, jump through hoops to travel. There was a time we can travel and we didn't have to, you know, we could put the liquid away. We could bring liquid with us. We could bring certain things with us on the plane. There was a time where things were more free-flowing and people's rights weren't compromised as much. You know what I'm saying? So at some point you get to a point and you like, all right, what is this all about? And you start to ask questions. And then when you start to ask questions, the more you ask questions, you just start to pick up on bullshit immediately. And you start to know, all right, that's bullshit. Well, this information they just told me, all right, that makes sense. But what about this part right here? Then you say, let me go do my research. Let me go dig on that a little bit more. But a very select, yo, you know how much people out there going through life, they just listen to the news and they just log into their Yahoo. They don't do any further research at all. No further due diligence. They're just following mainstream information and not doing any deep digging, no seeking. They're on no quest of any sort. And then those are the people who we got telling us how we should live and what we should do moving forward. But guess what? We will never get change for the better listening to those people, because those people aren't thinkers like you and I. Those people don't use their brains like you and I. You know what I'm trying to say? Cool. You go into a crowded place, wear your mask. That makes sense. Cool. You want to wear your mask. But as soon as you get up out of there, you shouldn't have your mask on anymore. Take that thing off. Why recycle? Common sense will tell you that recycling your own breath is not healthy for you. Not getting vitamin D from the sun, which is the main living the main life force to everything alive on earth, comes from the sun, right? They say you get the coronavirus, go quarantine for 2 weeks. Go inside your house for 2 weeks. You come back from traveling to a state that had COVID in it. Come back home and quarantine for 2 weeks. Stay in the house. Don't go outside. Don't go around people. But wait, so you're telling this person to miss out on their vitamin D, miss out on their sunlight that they need, that literally they need for their bodies. So now you're valuing something that's not even nature, something that's pulling us away from our nature. That's what we're now valuing, things that are pulling us away from the nature. How powerful can you be as a people getting less and less and less and less? Well, I should say, how powerful can you be as a person being more disconnected from nature? The more you disconnect from nature, the more you lose your power. Because we're all connected to nature. The people are connected to nature. Nature is connected to us. I mean, this is where we come from, don't we? So when you hear something like, oh, make sure to wear your mask, understand, you listen, you follow the rules. But with discretion, you say, no, I'm only going to wear my mask when I'm here, or I'm only going to wear my mask up to here or something like that, so I can breathe fresh air, fresh air. You know what I'm trying to say? So understand that there's something going on. And the Matrix will have you believing a whole lot of bullshit that ain't even true. You know what I mean? Because it's like almost like a puppet show. You know, like a puppet, like whoever's in control of the puppets, they had the strings and the puppets are all... We're like the puppets. We're like the puppets. And when we don't unify, when we don't take initiative, when we don't organize, we lose our power as a people. We lose our rights as a people. Think about this for a second, right? A coal miner in the 70s or the 60s or something like that, right? Somebody who worked in the factories, they're living a much better lifestyle than the people who you see making six figures today. They were living a much better lifestyle. Back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, coal miners, people working at factories and the industrial stuff going on, they were living way better than the six-figure earners you see making money today. Why is that? Why is that? Because something is going on. because something is going on. We keep accepting less and less and less and less and giving more and more and more of our power to what? The principalities in high places. The corruption going on in high places. Whether you believe it or not, you're doing it directly or indirectly. You know what I mean? So think about that for a second. People who used to work at fucking factories making more money than people making 6 figures now. So the dollar ain't even worth a damn thing anymore. The dollar ain't I'll be damned I trade my time for some money that ain't worth a damn thing anymore. I'll be damned. So moving forward, I think, but this is stuff that's been going on for years, right? Like this isn't just like some new stuff. This has been going on for years. A lot of this stuff that's been planned, it's been planned for years in advance, and it's been gradually coming on until it finally hits the fans. Then when it's here, everybody's panicking. Everybody's going crazy. You know, everybody's like, what to do? What do we do? Well, I'll tell you one thing to do is, number one is pay attention. Number two, do research. Do your own research. I'm talking about really research. Do your own due diligence. And the third thing I would say is become more self-sufficient as possible, if you can. Stop making other people think for you. Stop making institutions and systems and organizations think for you. Yeah, there are things, traditions, and values you have, but be able to think for yourself. Be able to ask yourself questions. Be able to process information for yourself. Not how somebody told you to process the information. Be able to process information that you get for yourself. When information comes across your desk, be able to process it, assess it. Does it make sense? Is it something you should follow or not? I don't know about you, but I know that just because a doctor is a doctor, that don't mean he can't tell me something that will hurt me. That will hurt my health, right? Just because you're a doctor don't mean that everything you tell me about my health is the truth. It's supposed to be. We would like to think that you went to school for 8 years and you got your doctor's degree and now you know everything that you're talking about. But no, me as the patient, when I go into I'm giving you an example when I say this. When I go into your office and you the doctor, let's say you the doctor, and you telling me this and that, what I need, and I need this and that. Well, it's my body. How I feel. How do I feel? That's number one. How do I feel? Number two, I can't harp on only what you saying. I may get a second, a third, a fourth opinion. Let me assess this situation for a second. Let me assess what you saying about me. Because what you saying about me may not be true. Or what you're saying to me about my health situation may not be true. So the doctor's word is not the ultimate word. You want to know who got the ultimate word? God got the ultimate word. No doctor got the ultimate word. No politician got the ultimate word. No teacher got the ultimate word. Your parents don't got the ultimate word. No pastor got the ultimate word. No student got the ultimate word. No businessman got the ultimate word. I don't got the ultimate word. You don't got the ultimate word. You know who got the ultimate word? God got the ultimate word. At the end of the day. But you got a lot of people who run around who say, oh, because that person is a doctor, everything they tell me about health has got to be true when it comes to me. And that is the stupidest mindset you could have. Because what it does is it destroys your ability to learn. It destroys your ability to be on a quest. The word quest is root word for the word question. When you're asking questions, you're trying to learn. You're trying to dig more into the truth. You're trying to get closer to what the truth is so you can be free. So my brothers and my sisters out there, those of you who've been on a quest, you've been seeking information, you've been seeking knowledge, you've been seeking business opportunities, you've been seeking to learn about the laws of the universe, you've been seeking to learn about spirituality, you've been seeking to develop your mind, you've been seeking, you've been investing and seeking and investing and seeking. You are the chosen one. You are the chosen one. And before you know it, you have to discover the truth. You have to get the freedom you want because you're on a quest. So the answers have to be revealed to you. The answers will be revealed to that king or queen who's on the quest seeking. Everybody else who want to be sleep, and you know they say woke and sleep and all these terms. Everybody else who want to be sleep, let them be sleep. Let them snore. Because just because your eyes open don't mean you see what's going on. You got your two eyes right here, but then there's another eye called your third eye, which is your intuitive eye from your pineal gland. The third eye allows you to see things past the surface level. And when you're looking at the world, it got to hit you one day that shit don't make sense. And the moment it hits you that shit don't make sense, you start to say, well, damn, is there any way that we can change this? How can I not be in support of this bullshit that don't make sense? Whether in society, in politics, in religion, in education, in the justice system, it don't matter. When you see something that don't make sense, there's a reason it's in place. There's a reason it feels like you fighting for the same things for over 400, 300 years. There's a reason why it's like that. Maybe the people who you think are there to save you ain't really trying to save your ass. Maybe the freedom and the success you want is going to only come from within, from you digging down deep inside yourself and pulling out some greatness. Maybe everything you want is on the other side of you realizing your greatness. See, because sitting there every day, tuning into the news, reading the newspaper every day, it ain't nothing but feeding you nothing but negativity. It's doing nothing but polluting your mind with nothing but constant negative, bad information. And when you continuously consume that over years, your mind gets programmed to think that, damn, I'm a victim. Damn, there's no way out. Damn, I don't know how I'm gonna make it out of this struggle. Damn, somebody might be out there trying to hurt me. Damn, somebody might be out there trying to shoot me. Damn, there might be somebody out there trying to do this to me. Damn, I don't know how I'm gonna make it without no job. These are the thoughts that limit people, that create limiting beliefs, and why you see a whole bunch of people walking around and don't got no belief in themselves. They don't know what credit is. They don't know what self-love is. They don't know how to meditate. They don't know what meditation is. They don't know how to attract what they want, how manifestation works. They don't know the stuff that you know. They don't know the stuff that you know because they're tuning into all of this bullshit that's programming them to have a negative self-image. Cut off the damn news. Cut off the news. It's okay if you want to do your own due diligence and do your own research, but cut off anything that's going to program your mind to have a negative outlook on some shit that you need to accomplish. Because it's like you being handicapped in a sense, mentally. Remember, mental handicap. Ain't nothing wrong if you got a problem physically, if you can't move somehow, or you got a physical handicap or something like that, that ain't as bad as a mental handicap. It ain't nowhere near as bad as a mental handicap. It ain't, matter of fact, it ain't bad at all. A mental handicap is the ultimate worst handicap you could be in, because you can't even see how you can move. You can't even see the freedom that's right there before you. You can't even see what's sitting right directly in front of your face when you're mentally handicapped. But the minute you can step out of your situation and kind of look at everything from a third person perspective, you start to see things for what it is. And you start to say, oh, wow, everything is systematic for a reason. This is for a reason. Everybody's got their 9-to-5 job. Everybody is so consumed by bills. Everybody is so consumed by, getting paid and how they're going to make ends meet that we can't get a leader who has free time all day to be the next Martin Luther King or the next Malcolm X or somebody who's going to bring change. You ain't seeing that like that no more today. Because they're stripping you of the very things that you need to be prosperous. To be prosperous. Is everything bad? No. Is everybody bad? No. There's still a lot of opportunity. There's still a lot of people out there who will lend an ear, who want to help change things. There's still a lot of people who got goodness in their heart and in their mind. There's still people who got their mind and their heart in harmony. There's still people who have a positive vision for people. There's still people out there who been through something. They can relate to the common problems, trials, and tribulations of the common person. There's still people out there who been through some type of struggle and they have some type of sympathy. There's still that. But overall, you can't beat your enemy until you know your enemy. You can't beat your enemy until you know who your enemy is. And this enemy that I'm talking about is really not my enemy or your enemy. It's our enemy. The forces of evil are out there. And the matrix is in place. The matrix is like this, all this shit is like by design, like to keep shit in place. You know what I'm trying to say? But like, if people weren't so afraid of being entrepreneurs, if people weren't so afraid of making their own money independent of time, if people weren't so afraid of launching their own business, they'd have more money so that they don't have to kiss ass. You understand what I'm trying to say? So now when something comes to you that you know is wrong and that you know you shouldn't be in your job, you shouldn't do, and you know, oh, this boss telling me to do this, but this ain't right. Or this institution is telling me to operate in this kind of way, but I know it's not right. Well, if you're in a position of power, you'll be able to turn down the money and do what's right and save your integrity. If you're not in a true position of power, you can't turn down the money and do what's right. Because they got you by the balls, by the cojones. And that's what the Matrix does. So now, when you go to fight against something that you see is wrong, the very people that you're trying to help starts fighting against you, and they're called agents. Right? They're called agents. They're there to protect the very system that's you want to change or make better for the people. Because the number one thing everybody wants is to be loved. That's the number one thing everybody wants, is to be loved. So why does it feel like there ain't much love here? Why ain't there a discussion much of love going on in the world? What happened to discussion about God? Everything is about the God now is a face mask. The God now is a vaccine. The God now is being 2 weeks quarantined 6 feet away from people. What happened to all the other things we value in so much that could help us get through and get by? What happened to prevention? What happened to that? What happened to healthy eating, healthy living? What happened to all the things that's going to prevent this shit from going? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I just checked the other day. My family is Jamaican, right? I'm Jamaican. So I just checked the other day. And the CDC reported that Jamaica only had 200-something cases of death with the coronavirus, right? And I'm like, wow, that's interesting. There's about 3 million people in Jamaica. Only 200-something people died of coronavirus. Over 11,000 people got the virus. Only 200-something people died. Do they have the most strict lockdown policy? I don't know. I know that I was told they don't really wear masks like that. They're not really wearing masks. But they do have a strict lockdown policy. But do they have the most one in the world? I don't know. Because in comparison to a lot of countries, there's still a lot of other countries that have a very low amount of coronavirus cases. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, like, why, for example, all these other countries that have over 100, 300,000, 200,000 plus cases of death, why? What are the differences in the way they are going about things or the way they go about things? Because I know, like, in Jamaica, like, we believe in, like, a lot of natural remedies and stuff like that. And we grab a bush and we make a tea and we be feeling better, right? We don't get sick and stuff like that. And these little natural remedies help us to prevent and cure certain things, or at least cure it or treat it or whatever. Not treat it. More so, I would say prevention or whatever, or to knock something out before it gets to be more serious. So maybe that could be what it is. But even looking at that type of data, I question that kind of data. And I say, why is it only 200-something people who died from coronavirus in Jamaica, but all of these other places, 100,000, 200, 300,000 plus people? Now, there's other places that have low cases as well, but I want to know, like, drop a comment below letting me know why the cases are so low in certain countries and extremely high in others. Is it because we're not locking down? You know, is it because maybe they don't want nothing to be locked down because they want more people to get the virus? Because remember, the more people get the virus, the more they can sell something. I'm not going to say what that something is. You have the brain and the mental capacity to know what I'm talking about, what that something is. But understand that looking at this, like, when you really look at this, it's like, yo, there's something really going on, because this is one of the most selective viruses ever. Like, I went to the store and they had this little plastic plexiglass thing between me and the cashier. I'm like, oh, wow, this virus is scared of the plexiglass in front of us. This is really saving our lives. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, you know, you go to a restaurant, you eat, you could take off your mask at the table, but once you go to the bathroom, you can't. You gotta put on your mask. Like, little things like that make me question little things. But I just really wanted to vent. This is more so me just venting in this video. It really was to really get you to start thinking more. The purpose of this video was really to empower you to realize that, yo, start to move in line with your purpose. Start to believe in yourself more, because you can't rely on the high places. You can't rely on those in high places to save you or help your situation, because that's not what things are designed to do. If they were designed to do that, the problems that we're trying to fight would have been eradicated already. The problems the social things, the issues that we have as a society, it wouldn't be an issue if things weren't in place keeping it happening. Does that make sense? Like the things you're fighting for, justice in the law system, for example. Well, If you can look at a case and objectively know that something's wrong here, well then why isn't it being changed? Why? The matrix, somebody's in a position, they got to keep that situation in that way because maybe they in cahoots with somebody else who is happy with the situation being that way. I don't know. Now, let me know in the comments. You could disagree with me 100% on everything I'm talking about. If you want to sit there and say, John, you're totally bugging out, man. There's nothing secretive going on behind the scenes of these institutions and systems. There's no type of design and simulation of sorts, John. Everything is just, you know, going the right way as it's supposed to go. That's also true, right? Everything is going as it's supposed to go, whether good or bad, right? So let me take that back. Everything is going as it's supposed to go. The universe operates, it's showing you something for a reason. It's either to wake you up, to give you a lesson, give you a blessing, or to slap your ass. But the universe is going to do something for a reason. The universe is showing us this pandemic for a reason. What we take out of it is going to be the deciding factor of how we level up as a people. You know what I'm trying to say? That's just my take on it. But if you think I'm totally crazy on what I'm talking about, drop a comment below. Drop a comment below letting me know, even if you want to disagree with me. Let me know why. But I want to know why. I don't like people who just disagree with me just to disagree with me. I make points and I have my reasons for the points I make. Like I could back up every point I'm making. But if you're disagreeing with me, that's fine. Just post to me, lead me in the direction of the right information so that I can be educated. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know it all, but I am on a quest, right? This is your boy, Jonathan Belcher. Respect to all of y'all who've been doing your thing, crushing it in your life, in your business, in your jobs. Keep doing your thing. Stay focused. Don't let this time discourage you. A lot of people are going through rough times right now. Remember to be compassionate. Lend a helping hand to your brother and your sister if you can. And hit me up. If you want to talk, hit me up if you want to talk. All the links are in the description below if you want to get connected with me. Hit the bell button if you want to be notified anytime I make videos like this. You're going to be notified and right away if you hit the bell button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Share this video with some people that you know who like talking about these kinds of things, like conspiracies and like, you know, just talking about things having to do with society, where things are going, things like that. Share this video with 5 people like that. I would really appreciate that. Without any further ado, this is your boy, Jonathan Belcher. Peace.